Alright, hello everyone and welcome to the fourth round of the Formula SimRacing 2014 A Series. We are here in Imola, which is a 4.9 kilometer long circuit, and we have just started with the qualifying. Qualifying one, a 10-minute long session, and currently the drivers are out on track, well most drivers are out on track. So the compounds for this weekend, we have a super soft and a soft tire. It's an anti-clockwise circuit. It's quite a high downforce track actually. We have the main straight, start-finish straight, which is the DRS zone as well. And alongside me today is James. Hello James, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm great, and what a track we are at today. Imola, classic circuit. FSR went back here in 2006, FSR is back. We were going to go to Australia, but it's all changed thanks to the admins. But what a wonderful track, really looking forward to this Grand Prix.
Yeah, same, we should see some good racing, so definitely looking forward to that, as most drivers are starting or about to start the qualifying lap right now.
Yeah, and we have Chris de Jong on his, leading the pack.
So getting on board with Chris de Jong for his qualifying lap. He rounds up the first couple of corners and he is right now on the way to corner 5th and 6th. Here we go. Seems pretty stable. Takes a lot of curb on the inside there. You definitely do want to do that. Cut the track as much as you can. Obviously not cut it too much. Then he goes through the hairpin, corner 7. A little bit of oversteer on the exit as he heads down to corners 8. He's in there now, and now corner 9. This is a very important corner. Shifts the gears down to a 3rd gear as he heads up to 11 and 12. Corners 11 and 12. Another very, very important couple of corners. Especially the exit goes uphill. Now corners 14 and 15, very, very tricky to get right, a very, very tight chicane. Again, cut the curb or cut the corners as much as you can without cutting it too much. So he heads down to corners 16 and 17. Braking for turn 17 is pretty tricky again, goes downhill, and the two final left-handers. Corners 17 and 18. Pretty early on the throttle there as he goes across the line. A pretty decent lap, I think, so let's see what the lap is going to be like. 121.6. Alright, so we have seen 118.9 as Hodes goes into the 19 straight away. And look at that, Jeroen 19.0. He seems to be the favorite currently for pole position in Q2 because he has done 18.9 already in practice, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah, she has looked very good all weekend. And this is going to be such a good race because I can see Jeroen getting pole position. Will it be Precision Motorsports on the front row? We'll have to find out.
So I think the next car we're going to concentrate on is Mohammed Patel, another very, very strong driver. He's currently on the lap as well. Let's have a look at his lap currently. He's not doing too bad, but his first sector, I think he made a mistake there. He's half a second off Jury's time in the first sector already. So I think Patel is gonna have to improve soonish, and yes, he indeed backs out of it right now. So he's gonna start another lap. I think if he has enough fuel. Seems like he has enough fuel. So here we go, Mohammed Patel starting another lap. As most drivers have rounded up their laps right now. We need Mohammed Patel, Marigodek, Valeriano and Daisy still to complete the lap time. But currently looks pretty good for Jeroen. He has an 8/10 lead over Saliano in the Ground 7 Networks car. Someone went off there. I saw someone off the track. I was driving on board with Patel. So just over 5 minutes remaining in this session. So Patel this time then, he has done a 22.3 first sector, about 3/10 off Jeroen. So Toman is really, really strong here on this track. Already a 19.0 straight away in his first lap, which is pretty impressive, I can tell you that. It's very, very decent lap.
I think Jeroen's got the upper hand here since he actually raced in the Winter Series at Imola, and I think he did actually win it. So I think Jere really does like this track, and he could be on pole position.
Yeah, very good point. Patel's middle sector 28.5, that is pretty much on the pace, so his middle sector seems to be pretty strong as he rounds up the final sector right now. Daisy has had a lap himself as well, 134. Definitely think that he needs to improve on that. because he's not getting in the top 10 with that. One pedal crosses the line and he goes second, 119.3. Not bad actually, considering he was 3/10 off the pace in the first sector, so a good lap. And he indeed went fastest in the final sector, so good final sector by Patel. But he just has to improve on this first sector.
Yeah, just one thing to point out concerning go speed. Marek Godek is not going to set a lap in this qualifying session due to him starting from the pit lane in both the feature race and the sprint race. And Mikko Hoyer is going to start from the pits as well in the sprint race.
Yeah, good point. We also have Aslamajan starting from the pits, I think, this race, and that is because he did a late allocation. So there we go.
And Jeroen has just gone fastest in the middle sector with a 28.350. What will this final sector be? It doesn't improve. 28.5. It just really shows the pace of what position I've got here as well.
Yeah, he is very consistent, I think, as well, because that lap was the 19.0 as well, just a couple of hundreds down on his fastest lap. So I think Precision Motorsports is looking incredibly strong here. So we still need Valeriano to complete a lap, and actually I think he is about to complete this lap. He's going on to the start-finish straight. He opens up his DRS. Let's see what this lap time is going to be like. It's a 1:21.0. Puts him up in 14th place, and we're gonna have to concentrate now on around 10th position with just under 3 minutes left in this session. Currently Peter Helmbro is in 10th position with a 1:20.5, and look at AC. Remember, he did a 1:34 before. He has just done a 1:30, so 2 quite slow laps from him. He's gonna have to improve for sure.
Yeah, I think Mikko Hoyer could actually get to Q2 if he just finds the 10th. He could jump Peter Helmbro. So, and Alex Diaz maybe. It's all on for Q2.
Yeah, and just an update. Johnny Seaman, he actually disconnected from the session, I think, but it seems like he is back in the session. So he jumped up to 9th position because he already set a lap time. So that puts Peter Helmbro then in 11th position and Thomas Mundy then in 10th position. So currently it's Johnny Seaman 9th, Thomas Mundy 10th, Peter Helmbro 11th. But it's very close actually around that 10th spot, and as you said, if you could only improve a 10th, it might kick you in the top 10 shootout.
And Cristiano's just entered the server again, so he really just needs to improve if he wants to get to Q2.
There goes Patel, 119.1. A 10th of Jeroen, so that's more like it from Patel.
I think it's really going to go down to the twister and precision. I don't think anyone else can match them. Maybe Crown 7 and maybe Thomas Sadler in Go Speed, but I don't think anyone else is really going to match them.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to agree with you on that. Having a look at the championship as well, Jeroen has a big lead over Mohamed Patel by just over 30 points really, and we have Conti in 3rd position. So Conti is gonna have to put up a good performance here as well if he wants to keep up really with the championship leader Jeroen here.
Yeah, Jeroen has just gone fastest in the first sector with 21.984. He did a 28.423 in the middle sector. What will his final lap time be? Will he get to the 18th? No. Doesn't improve again.
Again, a 19.0. It's incredibly consistent though, and as we have said before, he's looking incredibly strong.
Yeah, this qualified session is looking really interesting. It's going to really show who's got the pace to get to Q2 and maybe get a good start and maybe get some much needed points in the A series for both the constructors and the drivers' championship.
Sorry to interrupt you there. Chris de Jong wears off, and that's his session done. He's back into the pits, has no time to go out on track, as I think Peter Helmbro is out, Michi Hoyer is out, Fabrizio Gawi is out, Alex Diaz is out, Valeriano is out, Chris de Jong, we saw him going off. And Luca Daisy is still trying to do a lap. He has improved his lap, 1:24.2, and I think he's done. I think Luca Daisy is done.
Yep. And Norbert Leitner is going to come across the line on 120.349. Doesn't improve. And Johnny Simon's gone personal best in the middle sector. He's going around the final corner. What will this time be for Johnny Simon? In the Biocross Positive Racing car. A 190.7. Great lap from Johnny there.
He goes in the 19th as well. So we have 6 people in the 19s. So can you take us through this qualifying result?
Okay, number 1 we have Shiri Toman, driver for Precision Motorsports, and we've got Mohammed Patel in Twister Racing. We got Marto Conti, Mohammed's teammate, in 3rd place. And we got Martin Hernas in 4th place for Precision, Johnny Simon in 5th place for Biocross Positive. Siliento, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but he's in Crown 7 next. Thomas Sadler in Go Speed in 7th. Norbert Leitner 8th with Faster Than Speed. Danny Randanit in 9th for Crown 7 Netrex, and 10th is Thomas Mundy.
So outside the top 10 we have Peter Helmbro, Mitchie Horner in 12th, Fabrizio Gabi in 13th, Alex Diaz 14th, Valeriano 15th, Christian Young 16th, Luca Daisy 17th. He wasn't very strong. He's 5 seconds off the pace actually. And obviously we have Mario Godek, who didn't set a lap time because, as you have said, James, he is going to start from the pit lane, both in race 1 and race 2. Talking about the race actually, race 1 will be 38 laps long. We expect a 1-stop. We might see a 2-stop as well for people who really struggle with tire wear. And then race 2 will be 19 laps long. So Q2 is going to start now. If you have just tuned in to FSR really, then I'll explain you a little bit, because we have some rules for Q2. Basically the driver only has 1 lap to get it right, so no mistakes really. There's no room for error. And they have fixed setups now as well. So the setups they use right now in the race will be used, the setups they use right now in qualifying will be used as well in the race. Except for the fuel, obviously, they do run low fuel. So we have Van der Niet going out on track first. So James, do you think then that Jeroen Toman is going to get pole here?
I think it really depends on how consistent Shiri can be on one flying lap. As if Shiri makes a mistake, Mohammed Patel could be in for pole position, but Shiri Toman has been so consistent over the season so far, so I really could see Shiri Toman get pole position here.
Yeah, I do agree. Patel was only a 10th off there in the Q1, so if Patel has a good lap, we might see him on pole position as well. We will see. Obviously, the drivers will have quite a bit of pressure now. Only 1 lap to get it right. We have 4 people out currently. Danny Van der Niet, Thomas Mundy, Norbert Leitner and Johnny Seaman. The rest is still in the pits with 4 minutes to go. So I think it might be wise to join Danny Van der Niet then, who is going to cross the line first for Crown 7 Netrex. He goes through the final left-hander, corner 18. Then corner 19, it's not really a corner, is it? It's just a very tiny right-hander really, as he opens up the rear. He's going to start his lap now. He's only 1 lap to get it right. He crosses the line now and reaches 320 kilometers an hour at the end of the straight. A big hard braking zone here for corners 2 and 3. Then goes to corner 4. Looks pretty nicely so far. He heads down to corners 5th and 6th. Pretty nicely done there. Could carry maybe a little bit more speed. His first sector time is 22.2, which is pretty decent as he goes through the hairpin, which is a really tricky corner. I mean, the downforce levels just decrease a lot there. It's a very low speed corner. Now corner 10, 11 and 12. Let's see, he needs to nail this in order to get a good lap time. Goes to second gear early on the throttle there. Pretty decent exit from him. That was actually pretty sweet. His second sector is 28.6, or 0.7 really, it's a 699. So he bounces over those curves there on the chicane. Don't want to cut him too much, obviously keeping 2 wheels within the white lines here. Corner 16 now, he heads downhill as he goes into corner 17. Pretty stable there. Corner 18 now, keeps it in third gear. Pretty stable on the exit as well. Pretty decent lap time, I think, from Van der Neet. Let's see if he can get into the 19s as he opens up DRS. And a 19.7, a good lap from Danny Van der Neet. And it puts him in first position because obviously it was his first lap. So we have more people going to cross the line now, I think. Yeah, indeed, Liedner, he got the 20.5. Might be slightly disappointed with that. Jerry Toman now crossing the line. And let's see what kind of lap time he can do as he starts his lap right now. So we have Thomas Mundy, went into second place with a 20.3. But here goes Jerry Toman then.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but in the first sector, Marco Conti has gone at 22.115, and Johnny Simon's gone fastest on a 19.427. Pretty good lap there from Johnny Simon.
Yeah, good stuff from him. As I think Jerry Toman is currently fast in sector 1. Yes, he's in the 22.1. Conti does a 28.4. So Conti is on for a very good lap as well himself. But meanwhile, we will stick with Jerry Toman going through these very important corners. Gets the exit there quite wide on the exit there. Corners 14 and 15 now. 28.2 in the middle sector. That is incredibly fast. That is definitely fastest we have seen so far. Jerry Toman is on for a really good lap. Meanwhile, Marco Conti has taken first place with a 119.2. A little bit unstable entry there for Jerry Toman as he goes through the final corner now. I think he messed up his final sector a little bit. Will that slow him down massively, or no? It doesn't really. 19.0 once again. He does a 19.0 again. 2/10 faster than Marco Conti. Mohammed Patel now. Eyes on him as he, I think, is going to start his lap. Is he? No, he's not. He's actually on the lap.
Yeah, and he hasn't gone purple in any sectors, but what could he do in the final sector? Oh, so close between Mohammed Patel and Jerry Toman. He did a fantastic last sector, did Mohammed Patel. A 28.425, absolutely fantastic last sector. Just a shame he couldn't get pole position.
Yeah, I agree. Meanwhile, we have to move on because Marino is the only one at the moment to complete this lap. And I think Saliento has made a mistake in this lap, because he's still standing in the pits without having set a lap time. So something must went wrong for Saliento.
Yeah, it's definitely unfortunate for him.
Here goes Odas. Not particularly strong sector times. Let's see, 120.5 puts him up into 8th place. Might be slightly disappointed with that. He's 1.5 seconds off the pace. So that's it for Q2. And Jerry Toman, I think unsurprisingly grabbed pole there. But as you mentioned as well, Mohammed Patel has done an incredible job on the final sector. He was 2/10 quicker there than Jerry Toman. But at the same time, Mohammed Patel did lose 2/10 to Jerry Toman in sector 2 as well. Jerry Toman's sector 2 was incredibly strong, 28.2. That is really strong. The rest of the field did a 28.4 maximum, and that's it. So can you take us through the grid order then?
Jerry Toman got pole position with Precision Motorsports. That's Mohammed Patel for Twister, with Marco Conti in 3rd place for Twister. Then Johnny Simon in 4th place. Brilliant job from him for Biocross Positive Sim Racing. Then we got Danny Van der Neet for Crowd 7 Netrex. Then we got Thomas Mundy in 6th for Faster Than Speed, along with his teammate Norbert Leitner in 7th place for Faster Than Speed. Martin Hodas in 8th. I'm sure he'll be a little bit disappointed with 8th, but nevertheless it's still a good place to start for him. Then we got Thomas Sadler in 9th for Go Speed. Then we got Saliento for Crowd 7 next.
Right, so warm-up has just started. This gives the drivers an opportunity to get a feel for the fuel. The heavy fuel, obviously the car will feel quite a bit different here. And this might be our only reference really to the race pace before the race. We haven't seen any race pace so far in the practice, and obviously in the qualifying you're not going to test your race pace. So let's see then if Jeroen as well has a good race pace, I guess.
I think, just go back to qualify, I think the reason that Jeroen was so fast in the middle sector is because he had such a high downforce setup, so it could compromise him in the race if that's what he's gone for, but it really just depends on what his other sectors are. Norbert Leitner is the first one to go out on track, and Carlos Martin has just entered the server. I thought he was not doing racing anymore, but apparently not.
Yeah, indeed, Carlos Martin has entered the server.
Hopefully this warm-up gives an indication of what the times will be for the drivers, because it's really interesting to see what race times people do, but people don't tend to go the fastest in the warm-up because they don't want to show their true pace compared to the rest of the field. They want to leave it till the end or leave it to the race.
I think Jeroen crashed. Yeah, Jeroen crashed coming into corner 2. What happened there? He was behind Conti as he enters side by side with Conti, corner number 2, and Conti just pushes him off the track. Left no room there whatsoever for Toman, I think. Interesting.
Yeah, indeed it is, and Mohamed Patel's just done a 23 dead. That's a fantastic first sector for Mohamed Patel, as well as Marco Conti. He's just a little bit slower, but still done a 23.049. Normally they're just going around turns 18 and 19, around turn 20. Coming up now, what will this time be for Norbert Leitner? A 23.1, that's not a bad time for Norbert there.
23.1 is a pretty decent start, I guess, of a race stint. I think the complete top 10 did a lap on super soft, if I'm right, but I could be wrong actually. I didn't see any softer tire though. Now the people outside the top 10 will have free tire choice, so they can either start on super soft or soft if they want to. We will keep definitely an eye out on the people who are going to start on a soft tire and go with a different strategy. As I've said before, I think we will see a one-stop here. It's definitely possible. You do need to look after your tires quite a bit though, but it's definitely manageable, I think.
Yeah, you've just got to really balance race pace with tyre wear, because if you go flat out and you completely destroy your tyres, you've got no hope of doing well in the race. R-Factor 2 really emphasises on high tyre wear, really good tyre model, and it really gives the drivers sorry about that. It really gives an element of strategy to the race and really shows what the driver's abilities are and just keeps them really.
I think James is having some troubles here, so I'm gonna pick it up here from him until he comes back, I guess. So yeah, strategy-wise, it's really interesting, this race. As James was saying, you definitely do need to be careful on your tires in order to make the one-stop work. But at the same time, you don't want to lose too much time, obviously, by driving just slow. You do want to have a relatively good pace, so it will be interesting to see how the teams have set up their car for this track. It's as I said, a pretty high downforce track, but with the DRS zone, you do want to have a good top speed at the same time. It's not like China though. I mean, in China you have such a long straight, and you definitely do need good top speed for that straight. But with those corners following up each other quite short, there's really a high, what's the word here? It's really difficult to drive behind someone with the dirty air. The dirty air effect is pretty extreme on this track. You have pretty fast corners. Especially in the first sector really. So you want to stay close with the guy in front of you before you get into the DRS zone, but it's pretty hard with the dirty air, so it's gonna be interesting here.
Yeah, it will definitely be an interesting race, and sorry about that before.
Oh, no problem.
What I'm questioning about Jeroen and Gennaro Ciliento is that if they're putting in that amount of pace, are they going to destroy their tyres straight away, or is that just how much pace they can do and control the tyre wear? But it's going to be a really fascinating race, and I can't wait for it.
Yeah, same.
I'm just really hoping that we don't have any crashes, because you always hate to see people crashing out, because of all the testing that they've done, and then for it to just all to go to waste, it's so frustrating for the drivers, and I really hope we don't see any crashes.
Yeah, I agree with you, and actually the first couple of corners are pretty tight. They look a little bit tighter than you would imagine, actually. So drivers really need to keep their head cool here, and have a lot of spatial awareness and give the space to the people around them.
Yeah, exactly. I see Imola as like Monaco, how it's a short track. It's short in distance, and width-wise is quite short, so you can't really fit you can only fit 2 cars down the straight, I would think. So it's going to be a really interesting race. Drivers have got to be really aware of their spatial awareness, and it's just going to be a really interesting race, and we just hope for no crashes.
Right, so judging by the pace they're putting in right now, Jeroen has a pretty strong pace. And meanwhile, while I was saying that, Mohamed Padel has done a 21.6, which is incredibly strong for a race pace. Really, he is about 3 tenths up on Jeroen. So maybe Mohamed Padel's race pace is better than his qualifying pace. Let's hope so, actually, because we want to see an exciting race. Obviously, Jeroen 22.0, which is very good for race pace too. Ciliento 22.1, so Ciliento is keeping up quite a bit with Jeroen. And then we have Marco Conti, Patel's teammate, in 4th with a 22.2. So the top 4 seems to be relatively close, although Mohamed Patel is 3 tenths up, which is pretty impressive so far for race pace. I do presume that he runs the full fuel amount, so he isn't running less fuel than everyone else. He might be to scare them off or something, I don't know, maybe playing a little bit of mind games or tricks, because that lap time is definitely a very good lap time.
Yeah, indeed it is, but the only problem I can see for Mohamed Patel is that if he's on the dirty side of the track, he'll have trouble getting away from the line, and then Ciliento could, Marco Conti could come and jump him at the start.
Yeah, very good point, actually. The dirty side of the track might be really bad for the driver starting on there, so it will be interesting. Obviously, all the drivers have to use launch control though on the start.
And in fact, Marco Conti is going fastest. What can he do in this final sector for this warm-up? I know these times don't really mean anything, but they are fascinating. Oh. 1:21.421, fantastic lap for Marco Conti. It's just really showing how great the Twisters have got in race pace terms.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you. He went fastest in the first 2 sectors, so very impressive. Twisters are looking really good, actually.
Yeah, indeed they are.
So just a couple of seconds remaining before we go to the race. We should see a good race here, and actually now that we have Twister 1-2 in terms of race pace, it might be even more interesting, because Jeroen is obviously starting from pole position, but I wonder if they will destroy their tires if they keep lapping in the 121s, because that's insanely quick, and as I said, you definitely want to look after your tires.
Yeah, indeed you do. So the drivers are just finishing their laps. Nobody else seems to be going quicker, although Mohamed Patel is on a lap, I believe. Yeah, and I think he's currently behind Johnny Simon, and Johnny Simon's just made a mistake, or that might have been lag, I'm not sure.
think someone is practicing for a start at the end of the pit lane. Might be wrong though.
Yeah, they are. And Alex Diaz just lost the car through turns 12 and 13. Anyway, we've got to the race, and I'll take you through the top 10 once again. So we've got Jeroen in first place on pole position. Mohammed Patel, although he's on the dirt side, could make a good getaway for Twister. Then we've got Marco Conti in third, Johnny Simon in fourth, Daniel Antonit in fifth, Thomas Bundy in sixth, Norbert Leitner in seventh, Martin Hodas in eighth, Thomas Sadler in ninth, and Peter Helmbro rounds out the top 10.
So 11th is Midgie Hoyer. We have Gobby in 12th. Alex Diaz in 13th as the driver start the formation lap right now. Valeriano in 14th, Chris de Jong in 15th, Lucas Dacey's 16th, Mark Kodak starting from the pits 17th, as Lamagen starting from the pits in 18th, Carlos Martin is in 19th, and actually those three cars are not starting from the pits. I did say that they were.
Maybe it was a mistake under the director, or it was supposedly back of the grid. I'm not sure. We'll have to find out.
Yeah, we will find out. So I'm gonna take you quickly through the championship standings, the top 10. Here we go. Thierry Tillman is in first position with 161 points. He has quite a big lead of just over 30 points to Mohammed Patel in second. Marco Conti in third, so the Twister Racing boys are second and third. Then we have Daniel Kiss in fourth with 102 points, and I don't actually think Kiss is in the lobby. Alvaro Torres in fifth, and Carlos Martin is Alvaro Torres is in the lobby. I don't think so. Thomas Everly in 7th, Johnny Seaman in 8th, Martin Hodes 9th, and Norbert Liedner 10th. So it looks like we miss 2 people out of the top 10. If that's we miss Alvaro Torres and Daniel Kiss.
Yeah, indeed we do. And for you guys on YouTube, if you want to ask us a question, then use hashtag #AskTheCommentator, and we'll try to answer all your questions that you've got about FSR or the race or individual drivers. We'll try and answer all your questions, so be sure to put them in the chat on the live broadcast.
So Jerry Tillman then coming on to the start-finish straight now. I presume he will be doing a couple more donuts. Or burnouts, not donuts, obviously, a couple more burnouts before he starts the race and gets in a grid spot. But looking on board with Tillman, I think he has locked his wheel, his front right. There's quite a bit of a flat spot on there, so that's not great for Jerry Tillman as he puts his car right now into his grid slot. And yes, indeed, there's quite a big flat spot on his tire that might compromise him for his first stint. So here we go. We wait for Carlos Martin to reach the end of the grid. And
just Celiad Torres just left the race, so he won't be participating in this race.
Peter Helmbro starts from the softer tire. Here we go. Lights are coming on for the 4th round of the Formula SimRacing A Series. Here we go. Lights are out and away we go. Jerry Tillman has a pretty decent start. Mohammed Patel on the dirty side is coming under attack from Conti as we see some smoke in the background. Cars coming onto corner 2 and 3 right now. We see a bit more smoke in the background, but it seems to be going fine right now. Jerry Tillman still leads the pack then, and Marco Conti has managed to pass his teammate Mohammed Patel.
Yeah, and Alex Diaz has just spun off through contact.
Yeah, we have contact in the back as Lamagen and Carlos Martin is out. Carlos Martin is out, had a crash with Valeriano. We see cars now trying to avoid them. Marco, they're doing a good job there of avoiding them. But oh, I think someone spun. I think Kodak spun. Kodak spun, lost his front wing before the hairpin. Very hectic start. And meanwhile, Mohammed Patel is under attack from Johnny Seaman. Martin Hodes is in 5th, Danny Van der Neef 6th, Thomas Mundy 7th, Norbert Liedner 8th. Michi Hoyer 9th, and Gobi rounding up the top 10 as Thomas Savely is trying to attack Luca Dacey now coming into the chicane. Savely too far back at the moment, and Luca Dacey in 11th position as Luca Dacey goes off track, and Savely trying to pass him now around the outside for the next corner. Will he take him? He's gonna have to hold it around the outside, which will be very, very strong. If he can do that, here we go. And Luca Dacey still on the inside. Look at Savely, and a little bit of lag on my screen. I don't know how about you. Look at Dacey still in front of him.
And Jeroen has already got a 1.5 second lead to Marco Conti. It's a fantastic start for Jeroen.
Great start from him, as we have Chris de Jong now under attack from Thomas Savely. Thomas Savely down the inside of someone spun. I think there's Eslemanjan spun in front of the corner. I'm gonna have to look what happened there. I think he locked his wheels, but I don't know. I don't think there was any contact there. Yeah, Eslemanjan spun, locked his wheels, no contact made there, so that's fortunate.
Yeah,
as right now in the hairpin, Thomas Savely, and look at Daisy spun off track. What a very hectic first couple of laps here. Look at Daisy off track in the hairpin. I think contact was made there with Thomas Savely. Savely is right now in 11th position and chased by Chris de Jong. Meanwhile, we have a pretty interesting battle around 10th position. Actually, it's for 8th position as someone goes off track again. Gobi goes off track. Yeah, Gobi goes off track there. Well, again, very hectic here. Very hectic start. So, Jeroen, as you have said, he's very strong. Already a 1.6 second gap to Marco Conti and Mohamed Patel in third there. And a good point by you, James, mentioning the dirty side, because that definitely seemed to have affected him as he has dropped down a position then. Very hectic couple of laps here. It seems like the drivers are settling down now a little bit, but I definitely think that the stewards will have a busy time and have to do some homework after the race. But we will see what happens. We will concentrate on the race. Meanwhile, lap 2 out of 38, and Jeroen still leads the pack. 1.6 seconds. Mohamed Patel slightly faster than him in the first sector now. So, sorry, not Mohamed Patel. It was Conti, obviously, in second place. Conti slightly faster than Jeroen now in that first sector. Let's see if he can keep this up and chase down Jeroen.
Yeah, and we've just got a question from Will Barnes. Will we see wet races in the future with the R-Factor weather physics, and have FSR adjusted the physics of the ISI Formula Masters mod? I don't think they adjusted the physics of the Formula Masters mod, but we might see weather in the future for FSR, but it really does depend.
Sorry. Chris de Jong has lost his front wing, but go on.
Alright, that's what I was saying. I think FSR, we may see some weather physics in FSR, but it really just depends on whether ISI can get the weather physics sorted, because they haven't really changed it since the first version of R-Factor 2 came out, so it's more up to ISI whether they decide to fix the weather and make it better. And Chris de Jong's really struggling without a front wing as well. He's heading into the pits now.
Yeah, he's trying to get his car repaired, but meanwhile he pushed Alex Diaz wide. Well, he didn't really push him, but Chris de Jong basically rejoined the track while Alex Diaz was coming up behind him. And I think Alex Diaz is still driving without any damage. Yes, he is indeed, but he definitely lost time. He went off track into corners 11 and 12, those two right-handers going uphill, corner 12. So he lost quite a bit of time there, but can you update us on the battle with the leader? Wait, hang on, Jeroen went wide. Yeah, corner 12, and he's under threat now for Marco Conti. Marco Conti going on the inside for the chicane. It is a battle for the lead, and Conti on the inside of the chicane gets the move done, and Jeroen dropped down to P2, but Jeroen having a very good exit out of the chicane, and he will be on the inside for the next corner. Interesting battle here. Marco Conti is gonna have to stick it around the outside here. Meanwhile, look at Patel coming up as well, as Jeroen takes the inside for the corner. I think a little bit of contact, not sure, but Jeroen got that place back. Conti a little bit of oversteer on the exit now. Conti under threat from Mohamed Patel now for second position, his teammate. Let's see. Mohamed Patel in the slipstream, entering corner 1. This is the left-hander, now entering corner 2. And look at Conti meanwhile around the outside for Jeroen into corners 2, 3 and 4. And what a beautiful move. Beautiful move. Jeroen runs wide, and now Patel goes around the outside of corner 4 as they head down into corner 5 and 6. Jeroen on the inside there, but the next corner is a right-hander, so Patel
and
Jeroen spun, hit the wall and lost his front wing. This is going to be a very bad race for Jeroen in terms of championship points then, as the Twister Racing team is now leading position 1 and 2.
And look at Johnny Simon. He's up to third place for Bicross Positive Sim Racing. Fantastic job he's doing for them.
Incredible stuff here, incredible stuff. And this will mix up the championship quite a bit, I think. Having a look at Jeroen, he's in 10th place. He's about halfway through the lap. and he needs to stay cool right now and change his front wing, just like Chris de Jong basically did. Chris de Jong obviously lost his front wing as well. Carlos Martin is coming up to Jeroen Thoman right now to overtake him, and as I said, Jeroen Thoman needs to keep his head right now cool. But what a race so far though, it's incredible. So we have Conti then leading now, entering lap 5, 1.4 seconds the gap to Patel behind him, and look who is in 4th position. It's Martin Hodes and Danny van der Niet in 5th position. Incredible stuff here.
Yeah, indeed it is, but I think it is really showing the dirty air, because Mahan Patel was so close to both Jeroen Thoman and Marco Conti, but now he's 1.3 seconds off Marco Conti, and I really believe that it's the fact that he's got quite a medium downforce and he's really struggling with the dirty air, but he's actually catching up now.
Yeah, and I think meanwhile we have seen Carlos Martin crashing into the back of Jeroen Thoman into that chicane, and Martin doesn't seem to have visual front wing damage, but maybe he will have slight suspension damage. That was very weird. Jeroen Thoman on his way back to the pits as he is in the pits.
Carlos Martin's just lost it as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Carlos Martin off track now. He's not having a good day here, is he?
No, he isn't. I think he's got really terrible suspension damage, so I think he could retire. Maybe it was from the contact with Jeroen Thoman, we don't know, but we could find out.
We don't know indeed. Meanwhile, we have a battle for 8th position with Michi Hoyer and Thomas Savelli for Go Speed Racing, as Savelli is quite close to Michi Hoyer and he will have DRS, so Savelli might have an overtaking opportunity here if he's going to open up that DRS. Let's see. DRS activation point right here, and the flap indeed goes open on Savelli's car. So here we go, having a huge speed advantage as he heads down into turn 2, around the exit for turn 2 here, entering corner 3 right now, and he has done the move already before the corner. As he goes deep into the corner though, that will compromise his exit speed. Through corner 5 they go, and Savelli though still in 8th position, managing to make that move done even before the corner with use of the DRS. So DRS seems to be pretty effective at the moment. Meanwhile, Chris de Jong is out of this race. We saw him losing the front wing, and actually he's out of this race with suspension damage, so he might have suspension damage from that as well. But meanwhile, in the lead, Mohammed Patel, well, Conti is in the lead, but he's on the threat from Patel behind him, his teammate, because Patel is in the DRS zone. As we have Luca Daisy, a back marker already after 6 laps. Luca Daisy not having a great weekend here, as he goes deep into that corner off the track. Luckily, he doesn't spin or anything, and rejoins the track safely, I hope, for Johnny Seaman too. Yeah, he rejoins the track safely. But here we go, Mohammed Patel having the DRS, I think, on his teammate, and indeed the rear wing goes open. 4 tenths between them, so Mohammed Patel has the pace on Marco Conti, his teammate, and he's too far back right now to overtake just yet, and he will pick up the dirty air effect right now as well, so it will be pretty difficult for him to overtake probably. So can you update us on Jeroen Thoman? What's going on right now with him? Is he out on track?
Yeah, he is. He's down in 16th place. He's 57 seconds off the lead. I think the hope of first place here for Jeroen Thoman has pretty much gone. Maybe he could get 5th if he really puts the hammer down, but we'll just have to wait and see if Jeroen Thoman can show his pace what he showed in the warm-up.
Yeah, I agree on you with you. Having a look at the pace, the best lap so far is at 122.2 by Conti, and meanwhile, while I'm saying that, Jeroen Thoman has done a 21.9, so he does the fastest lap now. He's in 16th place, and that shows that he probably doesn't have too much damage on his car, lapping very quickly here. Good stuff from him as we enter lap 8 right now, and Mohammed Patel still behind Conti, 6 tenths, as the flap goes open, the rear wing from Patel, and once again he's not close enough, so he needs to be closer on the exit of the 2 left-handers in order to really overtake him. He's right now 6 tenths behind him, which is too much at the moment.
Indeed it is. a question from Motorsport Boy 97. Currently, who do you think has the upper hand in the championship this year, both drivers and constructors? Who do you think, Jeroen?
I think, to be honest, Precision Motorsports is doing a great job with Thierry Toman in particular. And we obviously see always a pretty strong performance from Twister Racing too, but it's definitely Thierry Toman who's picking up the points the whole time for Precision Motorsports. Looking at the Constructors' Championship, and it's indeed Precision Motorsports leading it, as meanwhile, hang on a second, I think we had a car off actually. Yeah, indeed, Johnny Seaman went off, and look at this, Johnny Seaman with Danny van der Neet going side by side through the chicane, and Johnny Seaman, there was definitely lag, and look at this, Norbert Lieder now joining that group as well, as they head down into the left-hander. Johnny Seaman on the inside of Danny van der Neet, and he makes that move stick again, but someone went wide, and it was Johnny Seaman who went wide, and he lost the place to Hodes there, and almost the place to van der Neet as well, but we saw him recovering from that.
Yeah, indeed.
But yeah,
also
coming back to the constructors, Precision Motorsport just looks strong, and then it's Twister, and I think that's it, as Danny van der Neet right now goes around the outside of Johnny Seaman, and oh, look at that, he goes very deep into the corner, almost losing it, and loses a place as well to Liedner. And look at Liedner now, he's trying to overtake Johnny Seaman straight away as well, but that's not gonna happen. Danny van der Neet going too deep into the second corner, and he was almost drifting there really.
Yeah, indeed he was. But since Johnny Seaman had that spin, it sort of destroyed his tyres, so that's why he's probably struggling against all the other drivers, especially Danny van der Neet. But if Twister keep this 1-2 here, they could really close on Precision, and Precision's first place could be under threat here.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I said as well, when Toman crashed, this could have a major impact on the championship, because Thierry Toman is 16th place. Yes, he's lapping really quickly, but he's 56 seconds off the pace, and the closest car to him, or the car in front of him, which is Aslamajan, is 13 seconds ahead of the road, so that's quite a bit as well. Thierry Toman really needs to do a lot of catching up this race with just 28 laps to go. As look at this, we have a battle. Patel managed to pass Conti. Patel managed to pass Conti into the first corner. That is very surprising actually. And having a look at the replay, because I haven't seen it myself, I missed it. Patel opening up the DRS, he was indeed pretty close to Conti in the first coming into the first couple of corners. And yet Patel managed to make the move done and stick even before the first corner again. As look at Daisy spins off track again. Look at Daisy. Not having a great weekend here, he spins off again. So we have Alex Diaz in the pits. Alex Diaz is into the pits after 10 laps, so is this the pit stop window then?
I thought we could go for a one stop, so you'd need to go at least 15 laps on these super soft tyres, but if he's only done 10 laps on these super softs, then it looks like he's going for a two-stop strategy.
Yeah, he's in the pits for quite a long while, so I wonder if he has repairs or something like that, and Alex Diaz goes out of track on the softer tyre. So he's the first one to pit in lap 10.
And Luca Dacey is just retired as well.
Yeah, there we go. Luca Dacey retired. Didn't have a good weekend here, that's for sure. I saw him spinning quite a few times off track. Right now looking on board with Johnny Seaman in 4th position as he gets attacked by Norbert Lieder. Norbert Lieder probably will have DRS, not sure. I think he's within the DRS range though. But Johnny Seaman's front left tyre, there's quite a big flat spot on there as well. And I actually forgot to mention that, and apologies for that, but Thierry Toman has gone onto the softer tyre as well, but that's something which you, I think, would expect. But meanwhile, focusing back on the leaders, Mohamed Patel is definitely lapping quicker than Conti, although Conti 2/10 quicker now in the first sector, but Patel had a gap of a second for a second there. But yeah, again, Conti now closing down the gap in the first sector.
Yeah, and actually Johnny Seaman's only 1.6 seconds from Martin Hodas, but Martin Hodas is doing a great job for Precision, up into 3rd place, but can he hold on to it from Johnny Seaman and Norbert Leitner?
Have a look, by the way, at the pace from both Twister Racing cars. They are still out of track with 11 laps raced, so I think they are managing the tires pretty well, and they are lapping absolutely, they are monstering everyone really. The last laps were 122.8, and well, the rest of the field is in the 23s, except for Toman. No, Toman is in the 23s now too, so Twister is incredibly strong here, and you can tell that by the 11-second gap they already have to the next car, which is Hodes in third position. Amazing stuff here from Twister, definitely having a good race pace, and it's just a shame, in my opinion, that Toman has dropped back, because that would have probably been a good battle between the pair of them, but Hodes here needs to try to pick up the points for Precision Motorsports. He's in third position, so doing a pretty solid job, as Mondian's in the pits. When he's in the pits, lap 11 that was. He goes from the super soft to, let's have a look. He keeps with super soft, I think, so yeah, he is indeed still on the super soft, so he's going for a 2-stop then, I guess. I mean, you have to use both compounds in the race, and Mandy again going for super soft here.
Yeah, indeed he is, and it's now 1.2 seconds between Mohamed Patel and Marco Conti. He's out of the DRS window, and in fact he's just lost a tenth in that first sector.
Good point. Yeah, this will definitely help Patel to increase the gap to Conti now that Conti doesn't have DRS anymore. And looking at the gap, it's indeed visually even bigger than 1.3 seconds. I think Patel has monstered the final sector. Let's have a look actually at this final sector time. His lap time is let's have a look, 122.2, and the sector time is a 29.4. Meanwhile, Conti's sector time was a 29.8, so he lost 4 tenths in the final sector. The gap is 1.7 seconds now, and Patel is running away with it at the moment.
Yeah, indeed he is, but it could be down to the dirty air I mentioned before, or his tyres could be going off as well, but we'll soon find out whether he tries to undercut Patel, but we'll soon find out.
It seems like Conti is quicker than him in the first sector, but then loses it the whole time in sector 2 and sector 3. Meanwhile, having a look on the track, if we can spot a battle, well, I think the closest battle on the track currently is with Johnny Seaman in 4th position, Norbert Liedner in 5th, and then even the Nieder in 6th. Oh, Liedner off track, and he's into the wall, and that is race over, I think, for Liedner. Lost his front wing, lost his rear wing, and that is a big shame for Norbert Liedner. Just about spotted it there on the exit of the hairpin, which is indeed a very tricky exit, and I think that's race done for him. Let's see.
Yeah, and also he's also got massive suspension damage, and sorry about that.
Yeah. Well, you're absolutely right. He almost spun it though, rejoining the track, and he's still driving. Don't know what he's really doing, but I think that's race over for him.
Yeah, indeed it says Martin Herlas is now 14.7 seconds behind Mohamed Patel. Twister are just running away with it. They're a bit like Mercedes currently in F1. Yeah,
I agree. They are very dominating this race.
Oh, clearly their warm-up times were actually a true reflection of their actual race pace. So that's cracking race pace from Twister there.
Yeah, I agree, but at the same time I would have wondered what it would be like with Jeroen Toman there still up front, because obviously Jeroen Toman never count him out. I mean, he had a very good pace as well. So again, closest battle out on track, I think it is still with Johnny Seaman, and meanwhile Johnny Seaman actually catched up to Hodes in third position as Carlos Martin comes into the pits for Crown 7 Netrex, lap 13 it is, and he changes from the soft tire to the super soft tire.
Yeah, and Johnny Seaman is getting close to Martin Herlas, and he's got a huge flat spot on his left front tire. Whether that was from the spin earlier or he's been too aggressive on his braking, but he's still putting in a good fight for Hodes, whether he tries to undercut him now, coming in, or whether he tries to go longer on these tyres.
Impressive stop from Norbert Liedner, because he is back into the pits and his car has been repaired, but that is definitely remarkable that he managed to get back into the pits, as we have Marek Godek on the platform, Carlos Martin now. Carlos Martin with a fresh set of tires, as I saw both cars there wiggling about a lot, as Carlos Martin has a look on the entry of the hairpin, but that's not gonna happen. He's too far back at the moment. Carlos Martin on those fresher tires trying to overtake Godek. Meanwhile, Johnny Seaman still behind Martin Hodes, as whoa, look at that.
He's really caught up to him.
Yeah, he did indeed. Johnny Seaman almost crashed into the back actually of Martin Hodes. Impressive stuff. And
Yeah,
Valeriano is now in the pits.
Yeah, it was really great driving by Johnny Seaman to be so aware of Martin Hodes braking so early. I think it really shows that Martin's tyres is going off actually.
Yeah. Slammerjan in the pits. And you can see in the pits is still Norbert Liedner just waiting for mechanics to repair his car after that heavy damage, but focusing back on the battle for third position, the podium spot, as Mohammed Patel, the leader pits, the leader is into the pits, and that gives the lead of the race back to Marco Conti, who still goes on for another lap, as Mohammed Patel joins behind Liedner, who is actually smoking there. His engine is starting to overheat, and Liedner actually retires. Yeah, Liedner has retired.
Johnny Seaman pits as well.
Yeah,
so he's
Johnny Seaman pits.
He's going onto the soft tyre as well. So just depends what Martin Hodes responds to on this next lap. It also depends on Johnny Seaman's outlap as well.
Yeah, both drivers going for the softer tyres. Johnny Seaman, I think he rejoins in front of Gabi as Minchi Horner in the pits too. So a lot of people in the pit. Seems like this is the pit window. They still have to do a lot of laps on the softer tyre though. About 23 laps on the soft tyre, but they've already done 16 laps on the super soft as well. So I think we're looking for a one stop.
Yeah, it's looking like the one stop is the way to go for this Ace feature race. Also, the fact that the Ace drivers are doing one stop, it really gives information to the pro drivers as well.
Oh, sorry. Look at Patel, going on the inside of Danny van der Niet.
Yeah, and Danny van der Niet yields to him. He played it sensible there.
Conti in the pits, but I think Patel has lost some time during his outlap with the traffic. Conti pits and he goes on the softer tyre as well. Let's see if he can rejoin in front of his teammate Patel. Here we go. There comes Patel. Free wide for a little while there. Patel is on the outside of Hodes, I think. And Patel gets the move done on Hodes, and I think Hodes isn't in the pits yet, as now Conti is all over the back of Hodes. Here we go, Conti on fresher set of tires as he goes on the inside here and gets that move done. Hodes gives him plenty of space. Danny van der Niet has pitted as well, and I don't think Hodes has pitted yet. Has he?
No, he hasn't.
No, and then you can see the dominance of Twister today as they just overtook Hodes, who is their well, not a big rival in this race, but they are a pit stop ahead of him, which is amazing. So it's still Patel then leading from Conti. I thought Patel lost quite a bit of time overtaking traffic and stuff like that, but it's not too bad actually. So the gap is still 1.5 seconds.
It just shows what a fantastic job he's done to get through all the traffic and still be ahead of his teammate, and 1.5 seconds. Fantastic job from Mohammed Patel. And Carlos Martin has retired for Crown 7 next.
Yeah, good point. Carlos Martin, with suspension damage, retired from the race. So there we go. Having a look again at Jerry Tobin, he is driving in 11th place as we have Hodes in the pits. Yeah, Hodes is in the pits, lap 17. He goes from soft to the super soft tyre.
And Johnny Seaman is now 15.4 seconds away from Mohammed Patel. Twister are really dominating this race. And Gobby's doing a fantastic job to be in 4th place. I think he's already pitted, so if he has pitted, that's a fantastic job from Gobby there.
Severally, meanwhile, has been into the pits as well, switched to the soft tyre, so he's looking for a one stop too, I think.
Yeah, it really it's showing that if the drivers can hold out their tyres for 16 laps or not. But if they can't, then they'll have to go on a 2-stop, and that will ultimately be a slower strategy.
I think the closest battle is around 4th position with Gabi, as you have mentioned. Gabi doing an awesome job currently in front of Martin Hodes, as Marek Godek pits as well. Goes onto the super soft tire.
And just turning to Johnny Seaman, he looks like he's got a big left flat spot on his tire.
Yeah, good point. Front left looks very flat spotted there.
And actually, Martin Hodes is coming to Gabi now. He's got his DRS open now. What can he catch up to Gabi, or has Gabi got too much straight line speed?
I think he's still
320 kilometers an hour in brakes. He's in the dirty air, and it just really showed how much understeer he got through turns 2 and 3.
Look at Hodes though on the threat from Van der Niet. As they enter the hairpin, and actually something to point out here is that Van der Niet is on the soft tire, which is meant to be slower, but at the moment he's keeping up with Hodes perfectly. So good stuff from Danny Van der Niet here, as Gabi is still driving around that 4th position, and Hodes cannot yet get past him. But at the same time, Hodes will have an advantage because he will have DRS, which means Danny Van der Niet, it will be very hard to overtake for Danny Van der Niet when Hodes has DRS as well, because the effect of DRS will be neutralized then. As Hodes is very close to Gabi now, this might be a chance for him. Is he already going to overtake him, or will he wait for the DRS zone? He's having a look on the inside there, but no, he is waiting at the moment. Look at this, 3 cars very close to each other, and I presume Hodes will overtake Gabi now. He's very close to it, so yeah, he must be close enough to overtake him. So here you go, to open up the DRS. Their flap is wide open as we enter lap 20 right now, and there we go. Martin Hodes gets moved up before the corner. Can Danny Van der Niet follow him on the inside of corner 2? Yes, he can indeed. Danny Van der Niet goes past as well, and Gabi has well, he had 2 cars flying by him as he goes wide there and gets overtaken by Thomas Mundy as well, and Gabi is struggling now a little bit. Meanwhile, Jerry Toman into the pits then, coming from 11th position I think it was, and he switches to the super soft tire.
Yeah, and the gap between Johnny Seaman and Mohammed Patel is now 17.6 seconds, and again, I think Johnny Seaman keeps on locking up his tyres because his tyres are looking considerably worn. Yeah. So whether he could continue to go on these tyres or he might have to pit, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, good point. Both of his tyres are now flat spotted, both front tyres.
But I think it really depends whether Martin Hodes can catch up to Johnny Seaman on his fresher super soft tyres. He's 11 seconds away from Johnny Seaman, but whether he can catch him up, we'll have to find out as well.
Yeah, I agree, and meanwhile Martin Hodes now has a bit of clean air, and he's pulling away immediately from Danny Van der Niet, who is on the softer tire. Remember, on the soft tire, not the super soft tire. Martin Hodes is on the super soft. So Hodes doing pretty good laps, I think. Let's actually have a look at his lap times compared to the leaders, the Twister cars. Hodes did a 122.8 I think last lap, and the leader is doing a 121.8. It's incredible stuff here from Twister Racing. They are both lapping in a 121.8. The difference between Patel and Conti last lap was only 1/100th of a second. They are lapping 121.8. The rest of the field is lapping 122.6. Johnny Seaman 122.6, Hodes 122.8. So Hodes is losing actually 2/10 on the last lap. Has lost 2/10 on the last lap to Seaman.
Yeah, indeed he is. And actually Thomas Mundy is going faster in the first sector with a 23.1, so he's only 1/10 off what Mohammed Patel did, and Johnny Seaman's off. Oh, and he spun as well.
Oh,
Johnny Seaman.
Stuff.
And now that's put him in the clutches of Martin Hodes now.
Awesome spot, James. Yeah, he indeed spun. He's still quite a way in front of Hodes, but what happened there? He's weaving? He's weaving. Johnny Seaman is weaving, coming over the start-finish line. What do you think? Why do you think he did that? Do you have any clue?
Tire temperatures, I would think. That's the only thing I could think of why he would be weaving. but he also could show that his tyres are going off. Like I said, with all the lockups, he could have destroyed all his tyres. And actually, with Martin Herdas getting closer to Johnny Seaman, it's actually going to give Danny Van Der Neeter a go with DRS, and Danny Van Der Neeter's really getting close to Martin Herdas. I think it's 5/10 now, or 6.
Yeah, it's about half a second, a little bit more than that. So, and even the Neet on the soft tire doing a good job. Actually, he's reeling Herdas in back again.
And actually, Marco Conti was a second from his teammate, but now it's gone to 1.2 seconds. So it's really Twister on their own up in the field. They're already 25 seconds ahead of Johnny Seaman. They're absolutely pulling away with it.
Indeed, a dominating performance here from Twister Racing, and Conti last lap 2 tenths quicker than Patel. Will we see here a really good battle? I definitely hope so. But Patel seems to respond on Conti's quick lap times, as he has done a 23.0 first sector, which is pretty decent. A tenth quicker than his teammate. So Gobby is into the pits though. Fabrizio Gobby doing a pretty good job this race. He enters the pits, switches from soft tire to super soft tire, and he has only 15 laps to go. So he will, I think, that's what I presume, he will go to the end with these tires.
Yeah, that'll definitely be what he wants to do. If he doesn't make any mistakes, he can sure go to the end of the race on that set of tyres.
Oh, Peter Helmbro has gone wide into the hairpin, and Mitchie Hoyer is now all over the back of him. Peter Helmbro quite invisible doing this race, as Mitchie Hoyer has a little bit of a look there. Alex Diaz in the pits as well. Peter Helmbro getting a bit of oversteer there. Mitchie Hoyer on the inside of corners 12 and 13, I think they are. 11 and 12, sorry. This is corner 13 they're going through now as they enter the chicane. Mitchie Hoyer too far back though. He was having a look there, but just too far back really to do anything. I saw Peter Helmbro going quite deep into the hairpin, which compromised his exit speed. So, good battle between the pair of them.
Yeah, indeed it is.
Have a look at Jerry Toman though. He just passed Aslan Majan. He enters the chicane, now he's on the exit of the chicane as Thomas Mundy into the pits. Thomas Mundy in the pits. And he goes from the super soft to soft. Sorry, go ahead.
And actually, Danny Van Der Neeter is getting quite close to Martin Herdas. This could be a great battle if Danny Van Der Neeter gets up to Martin Herdas. And actually, Mitchie Hoyer has just spun.
He's on the way again though. Where did he spin?
He touched the grass with his right rear wheel.
Oh yeah, you're right. Oh, that's a very unfortunate spin for Mitchie Hoyer. Having a look at the replay here, he enters the hairpin, goes deep in there. So it seems like that hairpin is really a pain for the drivers, as we have seen plenty of errors made there. Same for Mitchie Hoyer today. It's very easy though to lock up on the entry of that hairpin. So, as I said in the qualifying, the hairpin just takes down all of your downforce, which you had before in the corners before. Those corners are so high speed corners. You have a lot of downforce there, and then you slow the car down for the hairpin, and basically your downforce has fallen apart. It's not there anymore. Thomas Mundy enters the pits.
And he's got to the soft tyre, so he'll be running them tyres to the end.
But look who passed him, Jerry Toman, up in 10th position now, passing Thomas Mundy, who exited the pit. Jerry Toman is doing pretty solid, I think. Let's have a look at his lap times, his recent lap times. He's not very consistent. 121.8, 123.5, 121.4, 122.0, so not very consistent times from Thoman, but he is definitely quick. His quickest lap time over the last couple of laps was a 121.4, which is the fastest lap, sorry, not the fastest lap of the race, because Conti has done a 121.3, but he's really quick. His fastest lap is actually quicker than Patel's fastest lap, as Patel has done a 121.6 as his fastest lap.
And actually Danny Mandini is getting close to Martin Hodas. He's only 1.2 seconds off, but it really just depends on whether Martin Hodas's tyres do go off, and then Danny Mandini might be able to come and get Martin Hodas. My only concern with Jeroen Thoman is that if he runs these super softs all the way to the end of this race, how much tyre degradation is he going to get? In fact, he is actually catching up to Gobby, but is he going to destroy his tyres if he keeps on pushing this side, and is he going to have to pit again?
Yeah, good point. He needs to do 12 more laps on these super soft tires, so he indeed catches up to Gobby now. So we have a question. Use hashtag Ask the Commentator on YouTube if you have a question for us. And the question comes from MotorsportBoy97. How much do the marbles affect the grip of these cars? Well, obviously, R32 has a beautiful system with real road, it's called, and basically it makes a beautiful experience for the drivers, putting rubber down on the lines they are taking. But outside the racing line, there is quite a few marbles, and they do definitely affect the cars. It's not really like really bad, but you can definitely feel a difference when you go over them. The grip becomes, well, basically the grip is falling apart from you, and if you keep on those marbles for a pretty long time, it can affect the rest of your stint as well.
And Jeroen Thoman is now coming into the DRS window on Fabio Gobbi, and he's got his DRS open. Can he catch up to him? Hitting 319 kilometers an hour. Can he do it? No. He's going to turns 3 and now 4, and he's actually lost quite a lot of time. I think that could be down to the dirty air again, and that was a huge log up from Gobbi there. Took a bit too much speed into that corner, and whether Thoman can get him through the middle sector, we'll have to wait and see, or he might have to close him again in the last sector and see if he can catch up to Gobbi.
Just a little bit of an update. I'm hearing right now that Monday had pretty major contact with Valeriano, and from what I'm hearing, it was pretty aggressive from Monday, but I haven't seen that myself. So will Jeroen Thoman get Gobbi this time around? Lap 28 out of 38. The time is running out for Jeroen Thoman to pick up a lot of points, but is he pushing too hard? Is he destroying his tires? He just has to do 10 more laps. As he's on the back of Gobbi. Is he close enough to overtake him? His DRS goes open. You can see the marbles, by the way, there out of the from the racing line, off the racing line, as he goes into corner 2 right now around the outside. Whoa, he goes very deep into the corner, but what a beautiful move from Thoman actually. I thought he was going way deep into the corner, but somehow he managed to control the car there. Amazing stuff from him, and you can see him flying straight away, making or pulling a gap to Gobbi, as Jeroen Thoman's next target is right now Valeriano, who's up front of him, 2 seconds up the road.
Yeah, and it was definitely a brilliant move from Jeroen Thoman. And we've got another question from the Michelle98. In your opinion, can Conti take Patel? Well, it really just depends if Conti can get close enough to Patel, and if he can, then he might be able to take it, but it really just depends on what their tyres are like, and if Conti's got the speed to take Patel.
I think the speed is not a problem for Conti. He's really quick. His fastest lap time is quicker than Patel by quite a margin as well, by 3/10 actually. And last lap, I think Patel has made a mistake because Patel's last lap time was a 1:22.7, and Conti's lap time was a 1:22.2. So he gained half a second during the previous lap. And actually, Conti is quicker over the course of this lap as well than Patel. The gap is just 1.2 seconds right now, so we will see an incredible battle here at the end of the race between the Twister Racing. I'm sure that they will be careful and not take each other out. At least that's what I hope. They're obviously driving for the same team. So we have a battle with Gabi, Helmbro and Mundy going around the outside of the hairpin of Peter Helmbro, but no, that's not gonna work. He tries to get the undercut then on the exit, but couldn't put the power down, so Thomas Mundy still in 11th place there, as Valeriano is in 9th. Something has happened. Valeriano is overtaken by Jerry Thoman. Let's actually have a look. Where did that happen?
I'm not sure.
Okay, DRS. Thoman got past Valeriano with DRS. A pretty straightforward pass there. So Thoman up in 8th position. He's flying actually. Next target for Thoman, Mitchie Hoare in 7th position. 4 seconds is the gap. I think if
Jerry Thoman gets 5th place, he's done extremely well to come back from being, I think he was in last place, from the front wing damage to coming into 5th. I think that'll be a fantastic result for Thoman.
Yeah, have a look at Gabi now. We have a lot of cars going across the start-finish line now, and Gabi under attack from Peter Helmbro as they enter corners 2 and 3, the chicane here, and they dive down into corner 4. And look who's behind them. It's Thomas Mundy, who is trying to pick up a few places as well here. But this seems to be the closest battle on track, as Patel is responding to Conti's lap time. But the gap is staying around that 1 second. It's 1.4 seconds, and I presume that if Conti can get up within a second, it will be much easier for Conti to catch up to his teammate Patel, as we see Valeriano under threat from Gabi here. And Gabi too far back at the moment to overtake him. Mara Godek now enters the pits. This should be his final pit stop. But it does look like this is the closest battle on track currently, with Valeriano, Gabi, Peter Helmbro and Thomas Mundy. Battle for 9th position. And something to mention, I think, is that we've lost 4 people, so we are still 15 people racing, and that's it.
Yeah, 15 out of 20 isn't bad. And we actually got a question from Hamilton fan 1705. Do you think Moran can make it 4 out of 4
hang on.
tomorrow?
Have a look at Gabi. Have a look at Gabi here, trying to overtake Valeriano. Sorry to interrupt you. Here we go. Gabi around the outside. Oh, they make contact, slight contact there. Wheel banging. As Valeriano breaks very early for corner 2. That gives Peter Helmbro an opportunity to overtake him. Peter Helmbro taking a different line. Tried to put the power down earlier than Valeriano, which he has done indeed. Picking up the slipstream, going alongside him now for this corner. And Valeriano is still alongside him. But Peter Helmbro once again taking a different line. They're having a good exit. As he has a look now on the entry of the hairpin. But he's too far back. And look at Thomas Mundy now having a look on Peter Helmbro. And whoa, Thomas Mundy obviously on the exit there. But this is definitely good for Gabi. As he is now pulling away straight away as he makes a slight mistake, but keeps it on track.
Yeah, go back to the question from Hamilton fan 1705. Moran could make it 4 out of 4 tomorrow, as long as he makes no mistakes, and with his raw pace on R-Factor 2, he's really he could take the championship midway through, 3/4 way through the season if he continues this extreme form from Moran.
Yeah, Moran looking very, very good in the World Championship. This is A Series, and we have Jerry Thoman right now catching. He catched up to Mitchie Hoare. Incredible pace from Thoman, and again he passed him for 7th position. Here he goes around the outside. Mitchie Hoare defends the inside, and once again the move is done even before corner 2. Impressive stuff here. DRS seems to be very, very effective, especially for Jerry Thoman. I wonder what his setup will be like, because it does seem like he has quite a bit of straight line speed on this track. Thomas Mundy into the pits right now. That must be his final pit stop as he goes from the softer tire onto, I presume, the super soft. Yes, he doesn't need it with just 5 laps to go then.
And Shiri Toman has done a 22.754 in the first sector. Brilliant first sector for Shiri Toman. It's really shown that he hasn't took that much tire life out of his tyres, and he could really get 5th here if he continues on this pace.
Yeah, awesome stuff from Jerry Toman, and he is in 7th place then, but he's quite a way back from Thomas Saverly, the Ghost Speed driver. And actually having a look at Saverly, Godek is in 15th place, got lapped by Saverly, but Godek is keeping up with Saverly with DRS though. Although I think Saverly will pull away from him now that he's in clean air. But Saverly, quite an invisible race from him. But with just 5 laps to go, I don't see Toman, with all respect, closing down a gap of about 15 to 20 seconds. Giving you an update on the leaders as well. Patel has responded to Conti's time. I think Conti, yeah, he is dropping back quite a bit right now, about 3/10 every lap. The gap is 2.2 seconds. I think Conti was trying to close down the gap and was demanding a lot from his tires, and that's costing him now, as his tires are probably a little bit more worn than Patel's tires, and Patel putting in some good laps now. I think Patel has the win in the bag if he doesn't make any mistakes.
Yeah, definitely, but I think also why Conti's tyres may have gone off is because of the dirty air as well, and understeering and losing the grip in the front tyres could also have made him lose more tyre wear.
Let's have a look. Do we have a battle out on track? I think the closest battle is between Hoyer and Gobi. And Gobi, obviously on a fresh set of tires, the super soft tire. He will be flying, I think, on those super soft tires. They are quite fresh as well. So will the 8th position of Mitchie Hoyer come under threat from his teammate Gobi? We will see. Time will tell, I guess, as I think Gobi isn't within DRS. He is. Gobi is, I think, within DRS range. Yes, his DRS is open, so that's gonna help Gobi quite a bit. I think this is the closest battle on track currently, so yeah, we will focus on that battle then, I guess. Mitchie Hoyer is gonna have to defend from his teammate Gobi with a couple of laps more to go. Oh, Mitchie Hoyer having quite a bit of oversteer on the exit of the hairpin, and this puts Gobi in a very good position to overtake his teammate. And if he's just close enough and can open up the DRS, I think it will be a straightforward move for him, as he is on the super soft tire and Mitchie Hoyer on the soft as well. So that should give him another advantage. Although it seems like Gobi is right now picking up the dirty air a little bit, which is compromising his cornering ability, obviously. Getting a bit more understeer from the dirty air, but at the same time he is picking up slipstream on straights like these where they're going through now. So I'm sure that Gobi is within the DRS range on his teammate, and he actually closed down quite a bit, I think, on the braking zone of that corner there. So here we go. Gobi will open up his DRS. I think he is too far back though at the moment, although it will be quite close. So here we go, Gobi picking up the slipstream, and look at the advantage which he has got, Mitchie Hoyer. And there we go. I think Gobi is passed here, even before the corner again. Yes, indeed. I think Mitchie Hoyer didn't really bother defending there. It's his teammate. He didn't bother defending the inside, and that's the move done for Gobi then. So Gobi on the super soft tire is very quick. Next car up front is Jerry Toman, and I don't think we will see Gobi closing down enough on Jerry Toman to overtake him with just 2 laps remaining.
No, I don't think we will. I think if Shiri keeps that pace, he will keep 7th place. So still a good job by Shiri Toman, but I think he'll be disappointed if he only got 7th place.
I think Saverly is doing quite a good job this race. 6th position, managed to keep his head cool and take advantage of the incidents that happened. I think he started from 9th. Yeah, I think Saverly started from 9th. He's in 6th right now, so not a bad job from Saverly at all. Mario Godek comes again in the pits. That is quite remarkable. Couple of laps to go for him, just 3 laps to go. And actually he has lost his front wing. Marek Godek went into the pits losing his front wing, and I'm gonna have a look what happened there to him. Looks like he must have lost it somewhere. I don't see a car close by him really where he could have made any contact with, so I'm gonna have a look. It happened in the first sector, I can tell you that. Yeah, it indeed happened in the first sector. He just lost his back end and spun into the wall and lost his front wing there.
Indeed it did. We've got another question from Jarvis01 Racing. What do you think the World Championship guys will do in terms of qualifying times? I think it will be an 18.7. I think that will be the pole position time. That's just my opinion, but it really just depends on whether they go for the race setup in Q2. So Q2 we could be looking at 18.9, and then maybe in Q1 we could look for an 18.7. But we haven't, FSR hasn't raced since 2006 at Imola, so it's really a guessing game to what times the World Championship people will do.
So we enter the final lap then, and the gap between Mohammed Patel and Conti is 3.7 seconds. Conti has given up, and Patel is going to cross the line and take this one home then. This will feel very, very good for Mohammed Patel, because his rival Jerry Toman is definitely picking up not as much points as he would have liked to. Mohammed Patel crosses the line and is the victor, and he takes the victory then. Second is Conti, a great performance by Twister Racing here. And now we wait for Johnny Seaman, and we can wait for a very, very long while, because the gap between Mohammed Patel and Johnny Seaman was 36 seconds. Unbelievable stuff from Twister, extremely dominant.
Yeah, they've done an amazing job to be 32.9 seconds away from the other drivers. And Johnny Seaman is a great driver, and it's really surprising that the gap is that big. So Twister have had a fantastic race, and I'm sure they'll be looking to build on that in race 2.
Good job from Seaman, getting 3rd position there, rounding up the podium. Holt is in 4th. Pretty quiet race from him, but definitely picking up a few positions for Precision Motorsports. Danny van der Niet in 5th. So Thomas Savely finishes in 6th, picking up quite a few points for him. But here he goes. Jerry Toman comes onto the start-finish line now, going to cross the line about now, and takes home a 7th place then. But I don't entirely think he will be happy with that, to be honest. I think he would have liked a victory here, considering his amazing pace and quality as well. Gobby comes home in 8th position. Good job from him. Peter Helmbro in 9th, Mitchie Hoyer 10th. And that's it actually for this race. All the other people were lapped and have seen the flag already. So there we go. Twister Racing, unbelievably dominant here. And I think a disappointing race here for Jerry Toman. He looked incredibly strong. Maybe a little bit of bad luck there, but at the same time, I do feel like he has done an amazing job on coming back to 7th position. We have seen quite a few incidents as well here, but that's it for this race. Pretty interesting here. So remember, we are going to start another race now. Race 2 will be 19 laps long, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 19 laps long, and the top 8 will be reversed. So we will see Gobby in 1st position, and then it will be Jerry Toman in 2nd. So Jerry Toman actually finishing in 7th will start then from 2nd place. Patel in 8th position, and Conti then obviously in 7th. It's just the other way around really. The top 8 obviously. So what do you think of that race, James?
I thought it was a really great race. There were so many things going on. It was really hard for us to speak on what was actually going on. But fantastic race. Delighted for Twister. And, you know, Jerry will be disappointed. But if he's starting 2nd in race 2, he can really make up from the incident with I think it was Conti on lap 3 or 4, I'm not sure. But he can really make up for it in race 2. So if he just gets his head together, he can get some much needed points and keep Precision in the lead of the constructors.
Yeah, so that's it for the first race. Interesting stuff there, and actually the first couple of laps were really hectic. In the end, we saw Jerry Toman going off track there. He lost his front wing. That's it for this first race, I think. So I think we're going to take a break here. We will be right back soon with the second race, so stay tuned, and We will see you soon.
Hello everyone, we are back for race 2, which is called the sprint race for FSR A series. And I just want to point out, FSR does its own fantasy league, so you want to pick your own. You can pick your own drivers from the World Championship, and you can score points and win Thrustmaster prizes. So be sure to sign up to Fantasy League, which is on the FSR homepage.
So we're into another warm-up session then, giving the drivers a little bit more time to get used to the fuel fuel load they will be carrying for the sprint race. Obviously, it will be 19 laps. So I saw Saliento parked up in the middle of the road, and Conti had to avoid him. But yeah, for the first race, you obviously want to get quite a bit of fuel with 38 laps. But obviously, this race will be 19 laps, so drivers will be running less fuel, which should be good for tire wear. I mean, less weight on the tires. So I think we will see a lot of people starting on the super soft, although 19 laps on the super soft might be just about the limit really. So I wonder if we will see some people on the softer tire as well, but we will see.
Yeah, with the sprint race, it really gives the opportunity for the drivers who didn't finish as high as what they wanted to. They could really get some good points for their teams. It's like with Norbert Leitner with Bahrain, how he won. So it really gives opportunity for other drivers to go and win these races.
Oh, I can see some contact with Conti and Godek, as they are actually having quite a bit of a mini race here against each other. They're side by side coming onto the start-finish straight, but Conti gets ahead of Godek. But let's see if Godek can get back alongside him. No, he doesn't bother opening up the DRS. So there we go. Just waiting for the sprint race then to start. As I said, 19 laps, but it will be interesting to see the tire choices here. I mean, usually in the sprint races, at least that's what we have seen so far. Usually, the most people go with the soft compound, the softer compound of the two. So the option tire, but might be different from this race, as I think 19 laps is like on the limit for the super soft to last.
Yeah, indeed it is. Well, if we get a race like we did in the first race, then I'm really looking forward to it. It was a fantastic race. A bit of contact here and there, but overall kept it quite clean in the first laps, bar the odd incidents. But yeah, great race. Really looking forward to it.
And yeah, as you've mentioned as well, I think a lot of people who crashed out or had an incident or were just disappointed with the first race get a second chance right now to perform once again really well. So Jeroen, he will start from second place, and he will definitely be looking to win this race, I guess, in order to keep the loss of points to the championship rivals as less as possible. But I think it will be difficult for him.
Yeah, and Carlos Martin saying a great pace for Crown 7 next on a 120.868, and he doesn't improve. Maybe Carlos Martin could try and get some good points for Crown 7 next, but we'll find out in race 2.
Yeah, good point actually. I think it's good to talk about him a little bit. Obviously, he had quite a disappointing first race. So, as I've said, this is a second chance then for him, and he needs to get it right in the second race then.
Yeah, indeed he does. So we have 1 minute and 45 seconds to go in this warm-up. And I want to wish the drivers all the best for race 2. Let's hope they can keep it clean once again, and hopefully they can. Hopefully other teams can score some good points. Also, I think this race will be interesting to see if Twister can climb up the field and show their raw pace what they did in race 1. I think that'll be really interesting to see.
Yeah, I definitely look forward to that as well. Good point. But yeah, I think Precision Motorsports is going to try to minimize the loss of points that they will be getting, or they will try to compromise the points that they were losing or they have lost in that first race. So they definitely do want to put in a strong performance right now. We will see if they can manage to do that. I think we have Hodes starting in 5th and Toman in 2nd. That's for sure. Toman will start in 2nd because remember, the top 8 from first race has been reversed for the start of this second race.
Yeah, and actually, Jeroen Toman is just on a 1:20.664. So if he continues that pace in race 2, he could definitely go on to win it. And I think it was just really unfortunate for Jeroen, but he just needs to forget about that race and concentrate on this one and try and get some valuable points for Precision Motorsports.
Carlos Martin is up there at the moment as well, so it will be interesting to see what his pace will be like in his sprint race. Just 2/10 off Jeroen Toman, which is not bad. I mean, we all know how quick Jeroen Toman is in that Precision Motorsports car. So it's gonna be good, and here we go actually. We are going to start the second race then, so it's Gabi who's going to start from pole position. It will be interesting to see if he can fend off Jeroen Toman, but remember, Jeroen Toman will be starting on the dirty side, and that could compromise him a little bit. We have seen that in the first race as well with Mohammed Patel.
And in 3rd place we have Sadler, so he could jump Jeroen Toman if he gets a good start. Then we have Danny Randoni in 4th place with Martin Hodas in 5th, Johnny Simon in 6th, Marco Conti in 7th, Marino Patel in 8th, Peter Helmbro in 9th, Mikko Hoyer in 10th.
Drivers are now starting another formation lap, the second time this weekend. Valeriano in 11th, Aslan Majan in 12th, Alex Diaz 13th, Thomas Mundy 14th, Maro Godek 15th, and I think Maro Godek still has to start from the pit lane, but that could be me. Carlos Martin 16th, Norbert Liedner 17th, Luca Daisy 18th, Christer Young 19th, and Saliento 20th. And I think actually what Godek is going to do is at the end of the lap he's going to press escape, which will reset him back into his pit box, and then he can start from the pit lane. But I might be wrong, and according to my information, Michi Hoyer will start from the pit lane too, but I'm having my doubts on that. We will see. I think Michi Hoyer is indeed starting from the pit lane. Yeah, he's ready at the end of the pit lane.
So Thomas Sadler could really have a good opportunity to get 2nd place off Jeroen Toman, and if Gabi gets a good start, he could go for a race win, but it really does depend if he can show the pace, if he could get some good pace and stay out of trouble. But it really just depends if Jeroen Toman can get a good start or not. But as we've seen in the past couple of races, if you are on the dirty side of the track, you really do struggle to get some good traction, and you are often overtaken by the 3rd place driver. As Michi Hoyer just comes around turns 18 and 19, and he's going to come to pole position, 1st place on the grid, followed by Jeroen Toman, Thomas Sadler, Danny Randoni, Martin Hodas, Johnny Simon, Marco Cotti, Mohammed Patel, Peter Helmbro, Mikko Hoyer, Giardo Valeriano, Atom Azlamajan, Alex Diaz, Thomas Mundy, Mark Godek, Carlos Martin, Norbert Leitner, Luca Desi, Christer Young, and Sino Saliento, who actually wasn't participating in race 1 due to being disconnected.
So there we go, drivers rounding up the formation lap. We wait for Saliento. We can see Maro Godek and Michi Hoyer indeed going to start from the pit lane. So James, go ahead.
Okay, so we have 1 lights, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Lights are out, and away we go. Fabio Gabi got a good start. Jeroen Toman still in 2nd place with Thomas Sadler going into 2nd place. He's just jumped Jeroen Toman. Jeroen Toman staying in 3rd place with Marco Conti in 4th. Martin Hodas has jumped down the field. What happened to
Martin has spun. Has spun.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Petalbro is now in 5th place with Danny Randini in 6th.
Mundy in the wall as well. Mundy retired suspension damage. That's a shame for Mundy. Hodes has lost a lot of places too.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate for Mundy. Valeriano is now in 7th place. Great job from him with Simon in 8th, behind Patel in 9th, and Alex Diaz rounding out the top 10.
More incidents in the back. Chris de Jong and Norbert Liedner, they were both spinning out in the hairpin. And I think we have even more contact. At least I see more smoke here. I'm concentrating on the back of the field here. And currently we have one person out, which is Thomas Mundy.
Yeah, and Thomas Sadler is getting actually really close to Fabrizio Gobbi. He's only 3/10 off him. Can he take him down the straight? He hasn't got DRS, but maybe he has got the straight line speed.
A look at Jerry Toman as well, all over the back of Thomas Saverly now. So here we go. Saverly will pick up some slipstream from Gobbi, which will neutralize the effect. But we have seen that Jerry Toman has an awesome straight line speed during this race, and here comes Jerry Toman without DRS. Thomas Saverly doesn't defend the inside, and Jerry Toman just goes for the gap there and managed to make the move stick. So Jerry Toman then getting in 2nd place, the place where he started from.
Yeah, definitely, and it was a good drive for both of them. Sadly left enough room for Jerry. Good pass from Jerry there.
Johnny Seaman passes Valeriano after Valeriano went off track for a very brief moment, and Patel, contact with Patel. Valeriano is off in the hairpin. Patel is still driving, I think. There was contact made though between the pair of them, so Valeriano will rejoin the track now, and that's a shame for Valeriano. I'm gonna have to have a look at the replay, what exactly happened. That looked pretty weird, but I know that Valeriano made a mistake at the exit of corner 4, went off on the grass. Johnny Seaman passed him, and then Patel wanted to pass him too.
Yeah, and Toman's getting close to Gobbi now. Can he overtake him into turns 17? He's going for it. Or contact, but Gobbi's kept his place, but with Shiri Toman's top speed. Yeah, I know, and Sadler's right on him as well. Can Toman and Sadler get close to Gobbi? And Sadler's fallen behind, and Toman's go for it, and he's kept it wise, hasn't dived up on the right side of Gobbi. So the top 3 remains the same.
Good driving so far from a lot of drivers. They're keeping it pretty clean, and we have Mitchie Hoyer, beautiful move on Norbert Liedner. Mitchie Hoyer going around the outside of corner 2. That was incredible stuff, really. We have a couple of battles further down the field. Chris de Jong is on the threat from Martin Hodes, who obviously spun, and he will be looking to make up a few places. Martin Hodes around the outside for the hairpin. No, he's too far back at the moment. But have you seen there again the straight line speed of Toman? You could compare it against Saverly. Saverly just dropped back huge amounts at the main straight there, because Jerry Toman has an awesome straight line speed, and Jerry Toman having a pretty perfect exit there out of this chicane, and Gobbi is not bothering defending the inside, is he? No, he's not really, but Toman is too far back as well to attack him right now and overtake him. But at the same time, I think Jerry Toman is going to have another opportunity because of his straight line speed. Here he comes picking up the slipstream on Gobbi, who is still leading this race, entering lap 3. Here we go, Jerry Toman with DRS, and whoa! That was very, very close between the pair of them. Jerry Toman though gets in the lead, and what a move was that! That was unbelievable. Very, very close driving from the pair of them, and that was incredible. And now Saverly is going to try to overtake Gobbi for 2nd position.
Yeah, that was a fantastic move from Jerry Toman. There was a bit of contact between him and Gobbi, but he got the move done, and now Sadler's going to have a go on Gobbi. But what amazed me with Toman is if he's running low wings, he's still managed to keep up with Gobbi even though he was in the dirty air. It was fantastic driving from Toman.
We have reports now as well that Alex Diaz is out, and Helmbro, something has happened with Helmbro.
Yeah, he was into 5th place, and he's now in 9th, so I don't know what happened to Helmbro, but apparently Alex Diaz had an accident. We'll try and have a look and see what happened to Diaz.
Yeah, indeed, Hambro lost a lot of time there, and Gobi is now on the threat from Sadler. Sadler will have the DRS, but look who's behind him. Marco Conti in the Twister car, but meanwhile Jeroen leads the pack by almost 2 seconds, I would say, already. And here we go, Thomas Sadler opening up his DRS. Can he get past Gobi, and can Marco Conti profit from this as well? As we see further down the back, Patel attacking as well. But look at this, 3 wide, almost entering the second corner, and Thomas Sadler is still trying to hold on to that position and overtake Gobi, which he has done indeed. And Marco Conti indeed took advantage of that, and Gobi and Sadler still side by side. And there's quite a bit of lag involved here, because they are inside each other for me, really. But look who's coming up behind now as well. Mohammed Patel is now on the back of Gobi. Gobi lost 2 positions there, and Marco Conti straight away pulls away. So we will see now what Conti can do in terms of his pace against Thierry Thoman.
Concerning Alex Diaz, I don't know whether it was lag or Peter Helmbro actually touched Diaz, but it was a huge crash. He completely destroyed his car. He's got no left wheel, and his front wing and rear wing have gone.
Yeah, and Peter Helmbro has retired from the race as well. But look at Mohammed Patel now in 5th position, as he is trying to find a way past Gobi, and he has to do it as soon as possible, because he's losing a lot of time behind Gobi here. He's being held up, but I presume Mohammed Patel will get past with use of DRS here. Here he goes, opening up the DRS on Gobi. Look how close he already is. I think he will get the move done even before the corner. Yes, he is already passed. So there we go. Mohammed Patel up in 4th position. His next target is Sadler in a Go Speed car. Sadler still in the podium spot, but I don't know if he will have an answer to Patel's raw pace. As we see Conti, who actually is losing time to Jeroen Thoman, I think. So Thoman is pulling away with it at the moment. Good start from Thoman here. Want to win this race and pick up a lot of points, as much as he can, obviously.
Yeah, indeed he is. I don't know whether Sadler will be able to hold on to the 3rd place. I think Patel will overtake him, but it really does depend if Sadler has got the pace to keep Patel at bay. And Conti has actually pulled away from Sadler, and Conti's doing a great job.
Sorry, Danny van der Niet has spun. Sorry, very sorry to interrupt you, but Danny van der Niet has spun. And he collided with the back of another car, which was actually Gobi. So Gobi doesn't have a good pace, as Danny van der Niet get passed as well by Saliento. Not good start here from Danny van der Niet. Very unlucky, as Godek now is trying to find a way past. I think here comes Godek. Danny van der Niet defends the inside. Godek has to go around the outside, which is not gonna happen, I think. Danny van der Niet brakes very late, and look at this. Almost going off the track there, just about kept it off track, but that was very close. So Danny van der Niet collided with Gobi. He braked a little bit late, touched the rear of Gobi, and then spun.
Yeah, but now Godek's got DRS, so can he take Danny van der Niet? He should be able to if he's got the straight line speed, but I don't think he has. Or Danny van der Niet has actually got DRS open on Saliento.
So focusing back on the podium battle here, the 3rd position. Look at Patel being really close to the back of Sadler. Will Patel already overtake him? As Sadler had a little bit of a moment there, I think, on the entry of the corner. Will Patel already overtake him even before the DRS zone here, or will he just be patient and wait for the DRS to come and then take his opportunity and overtake Sadler? He's already so close behind him though. It's just really a matter of time before he overtakes him, and I think he can already do it this lap with use of the DRS. Meanwhile, Conti is pretty quick again. He closed Jeroen Thoman down slightly, just a couple of tenths. They are very evenly matched though, as Sadler went a little bit deep in there, and that gives Patel a great opportunity. He is already very close, and I presume he will get past here. Let's have a look. Patel opens up the DRS. Is he close enough? Yeah, he's definitely close enough. There we go. Sadler doesn't bother defending the inside, and this should be straightforward for Patel. Yes, it is indeed. So Patel managed to get past, and I just want to say quickly that the drivers are doing an exceptional good job at the moment with the incidents. I mean, we didn't see a lot of crashes. Yes, we have seen some cars spinning out, but that is quite unavoidable. We haven't seen any huge carnage so far in this race.
No, indeed we haven't, and It's just really showing the Twister's straight line speed down that straight with DRS open, hitting over 320 km an hour. Sadly can't really answer to that. But now he's got a 4th place, he's got a 3-second gap to Gobby, so he could retain 4th position here.
Meanwhile, a little bit further down the field, we see Carlos Martin trying to attack Seaman, and Seaman, I think he is being held up slightly by Gobby at the moment. In front of him, it's Sevely gone off. Sevely has spun. Sevely has spun, and that drops him down into 8th position. He's done, I think. He reverses the car, and what's he doing? Okay, he's just rejoining the track with a safe angle, and that is so unfortunate for Sevely and Go Speed Racing, as his weekend is, well, this race at least is completely messed up for him. I'm gonna have a look at the replay because I don't know what happened. I just saw him off the track really, and that's it.
I think he got stuck on the white, I think it's a curb on the track. I think that's what he got stuck on. He couldn't get off it.
Have a look at P6 by the way, sorry.
3-way battle for 3rd, is that 4th place, sorry. And Gobby is leading in 4th place with Simon in 5th and Martin in 6th. I don't think there'll be any overtaking until the 3rd sector, possibly to turn 17 if they keep it all clean, but we'll find out.
Sevely is back on track. He went into the pits, got a bit of damage, I think. And you are indeed right, he indeed spun over the curb. As you can see here with Gobby through that corner, Sevely went a little bit too much on the curb and then the car just spun.
Yeah, it's just really unfortunate for him. And Carl Spotter's just got over the grass because he went too deep into the corner.
Yeah, so we see Carlos Martin pushing there into in 4th position, but giving an update on the leaders, Conti is quicker than Thoman, not by a lot, but very consistent amount of time every lap, just a couple of tenths. But we see Seaman now on the back of Gobby. Seaman will have DRS, he's quite a way back, so I wonder if he's going to get past already. He will pick up the slipstream as well, which will give him a huge advantage, and here he goes. Is he going to have a look around the inside? Well, he's already alongside him, and whoa, that was very close racing, and Gobby is off, rejoins the track, and now Carlos Martin is going to try to overtake them, having a better exit than Seaman. Carlos Martin around on the inside now for the next corner. Can he take him? Yes, he can indeed.
Move.
Good move from Carlos Martin, braked very late there, and now he's on the flat again from Seaman, having a little bit of a look there. Johnny Seaman on the inside, couldn't do it though. Great move from Martin, braked very late there and still managed to keep it on track beautifully.
Asamalayan is in the pit, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but he's had to pit and he's on the super soft tyres.
Stuff is up with Godek. Godek just got passed by Martin Hodes, and Hodes is now on the back of Danny van der Niet, so we have another very exciting battle here. We have battles all over the shot, battle for 4th position between Gobby, Carlos Martin and Seaman, and then we have Saliento out on his own, and then we have another group with Danny van der Niet, Martin Hodes and Mara Godek. But we will focus on 4th position, I think, because they will have DRS right now first. So here we go. Then can Carlos Martin pass Gobby? He's very close though. I think he will get past him as he opens up the DRS. Gobby has nothing to defend with. Gobby goes to the inside to defend the inside there. Look at that, Gobby going straight again into the slipstream. Good stuff from Gobby there as he brakes pretty early there, and now has Johnny Seaman all over the back of him. Gobby trying to pick up the slipstream from Carlos Martin once Carlos Martin got past, and then tried to overtake him back again but couldn't do it. But strategy wise, a very good move I think from Gobby, just trying to get him back. It didn't work out though.
Yeah, it's a fantastic move by Carlos Martin. And just an update on the 3 on the podium and the leader Jiri Toman. Marco Conti is now 1.6 seconds away from Jiri Toman, so he could definitely take Jiri Toman if he just catches a bit more up to him. He could definitely take him.
Yeah, I agree. Meanwhile, we're gonna focus again on the battle between Gobby and Seaman, as Seaman is really close between Gobby. Gobby seems to be dropping back since he started from pole position, just cannot keep the pace up, cannot keep up with the people around him, and he's under attack the whole time. So let's see if Johnny Seaman can get past him here. Johnny Seaman extending there a little bit on the exit of the corner. Don't want to be doing that too much. So here we go. Johnny Seaman opens up the DRS. Yeah, there we go. We can see the flap open as he picks up the slipstream as well. And is too far back at the moment to overtake Gobby.
Yeah, and Martin Hodas is going to have a go at Danny van der Neet. He's in DRS, so can he overtake him with the precision straight line speed? No, he can't.
No, way too far back at the moment. I think Crown 7 Outright has a good setup as well. Just good straight line speed, and Hoda is just too far behind to overtake him. But getting back to the leaders, the gap between Jerry Toman and Conti is 1.3 seconds, and if it continues at this rate, we will see Conti in the DRS range of Toman, and that will help him to close him down as well, and obviously to overtake him as well. And closest battle right now out on track, I think it's Johnny Seaman and Gobby. Seaman still trying to attack or overtake Gobby, and this might be his chances. He's all over Gobby now. He's gonna wait though, I think. Is he? He had a look there, trying to scare Gobby off, but Gobby keeps it nicely on track. He's just waiting, I think, for the DRS. So he's trying to have a good exit there, as we have lost Christian. Christian has left the race with a DNF, so he retired. As I think the DRS is open for Johnny Seaman. It is indeed, but I don't think Seaman has the best straight line speed in the world. He's revving out at 313 kilometers an hour, which is indeed not great, because I've seen other people doing 320 there. As Seaman now has a better exit than Gobby there. Is he going to try to attack him? This might be his chance, but no, Gobby defends it well there. Good job from Gobby.
I think Seaman has got quite high wings, considering he's not really feeling the effect of the dirty air. So, and also his tyres are looking incredibly worn again. I don't know whether that's him locking up too much again. I'm not sure, but we'll find out. But if you do actually pit, then you won't get into the top 10 because it costs you too much time. And Seaman just has a little bit of a oversteer there, and it's dropped a bit off Gobby, but he can make it up through turns 14 and 15 if he gets a good exit. He could have a go down into turn 17, but I think he's too far back. He brakes in the middle of the 50 and 100 meter board, and if he gets a good exit out of turns 18, he will have DRS open. But as we've seen, Gobby has got a good top speed, so can Seaman take him? DRS is open, and again he just doesn't have enough straight line speed. Whether Seaman can get past Gobby will have to be seen. I think it's because of his high downforce.
Yeah, so that's definitely the closest battle right now out on track, but another update on the leaders. The gap is so consistent. It is still 1.2 seconds after it was 1.3 on my last update, as they round up the second sector of this lap now, and it seems like Conti is pretty close. Yeah, he gained about 400s in sector 2, so they are both pushing, I think. But meanwhile, Mohammed Patel, who's in third place, is, I believe, the fastest out of the three. So out of Jerry Toman, Conti, and himself, obviously. But seems pretty strong here, pretty good for Patel, and it's actually visually he looks really close on his teammate. Is he gonna have DRS already? No, he's not. He's too far back at the moment. The gap between him and his teammate, though, is just about a second. So Patel is looking really strong here. Johnny Seaman now trying to overtake once again Gobby, but Gobby is just too quick for Seaman. I mean, Seaman has too short set of gear. He's revving out at 330 kilometers an hour, although this might be his chance as he goes down the inside, but no, Gobby defends it well once again, and it seems like Seaman has just set up his set of gear wrong. It's just too short. Where others rev out at 320 kilometers an hour, he revs out at 313 kilometers an hour.
Yeah, it will be really frustrating for Seaman. They just can't pass him due to Gobby's sublime top speed.
I see a rear wing. I see a rear wing laying off the track. I don't know that's from anyone. I cannot spot a car without a rear wing. Oh yes, I can. Mitchie Hoyer hasn't got a rear wing. See, I thought I saw a rear wing at the side of the road, and it is indeed true. A little bit of debris from Mitchie Hoyer's car, as he had no rear wing, and he pitched for repairs.
I think it could have been due to Luca Desi, since he was going quite slowly as well. So I'll just have a look on the replay and see if that's true.
Okay, meanwhile I will focus then on the battle with the leaders, because Conti is within a second now of Jerry Toman, and Patel is within the DRS range as well. We have 3 cars here. The top 3 is divided by 1.5 seconds as we go back to Seaman now, who's going to overtake Gobby again. At least he will try to, as he has a look on the inside. Gobby once again fencing him off around the outside, and Johnny Seaman just hasn't got the straight line speed to overtake him. Good stuff here. So the gap between Toman and Conti is still 9 tenths. If the Conti can keep the gap at 9 tenths, he will have DRS as well, which, as I said before, will definitely help him closing down Jerry Toman. But I think Jerry Toman put a little bit of a gap in the second sector. Yes, indeed, the gap is just over a second now. So Conti is gonna have to push in order to get DRS, and he definitely needs to get DRS because Patel will have DRS on him. The gap between him and Patel is just 8 tenths. So he must get DRS in order to neutralize the effect that Patel will have with DRS.
Yeah, indeed. And just go back to the Mika Hoyer incident. In fact, I apologise to Luca Desi because he had nothing to do with it. In fact, Hoyer just dropped out of turns 13, 12 and 13, so it was his own fault actually.
Yeah, and I just saw Muhammad Patel's DRS open, and I think Patel is just the quickest out of these guys, out of the top 3. He's doing an amazing job currently, and I think it's just a matter of time before he can pass his teammate, but it will definitely depend on Conti, his DRS usage, whether he can have DRS on Toman as well. He will have DRS as it stands right now. He's just only 8 tenths back. Last lap it was 9 tenths, so both Twister cars seem to have the pace on the Precision Motorsports car of Toman. Meanwhile, we will have a look at the other Precision Motorsports car, Martin Hodes. He's in 10th position after he spun on the first lap, and he's trying to do obviously damage limitations just like Toman had to do in the first race.
Yeah, now the gap between Jerry Toman and Marco Conti is now under a second. So, with DRS, can Conti take Jerry Toman? So they're coming out of turns 18, and then go through 19. With his DRS open, can he take Jerry Toman, or has Jerry Toman got too much top speed and is he too far away? Although he is closing, but he won't get him, he's too far back. If he keeps enough time towards Jerry Toman, he can definitely take him.
Yeah, I had a look at the top speeds there. Jerry Toman reaching 308 kilometers an hour. At the end of that straight, Marco Conti with DRS obviously reached 318 kilometers an hour instead of the 308 of Jerry Toman. So 10 kilometer an hour difference, not a lot, but it could make a difference once you're closer, and Conti just has to close down the gap, and maybe DRS will help him with that.
Yeah, indeed it will. So we've got 2 laps remaining out of this sprint race in the A series. Can Conti take Jerry Toman, and can Mohamed Patel close on his teammate?
I don't think we will see any team orders here or something like that. It doesn't look like Conti is going to move over for his teammate Patel. It does look like Patel has the best pace though out of these 3, but obviously we have fair, clean racing here. So there's a back marker up front. I think that's Mitchie. Yeah, that's Mitchie Hoyer. And hopefully he should get out of the way soon, because the gap looks closer again. It gets closer lap after lap. And let's have a look. The gap between Jerry Toman and Conti is now just 6 tenths of a second, and the gap between Toman and Patel is a second. So we have 3 cars here within a second with just a lap to go, which is very, very exciting.
Yeah, indeed it is. So we're on the final lap of this sprint race, and I don't believe that Marco Conti is going to take Jerry Toman unless Jerry Toman makes a mistake. I think Jerry Toman has got this one in the bag.
Yeah, I think so as well. We only have one little DRS zone available, and that's it. So Conti, I think he's too far back at the moment to really do something. Same for Patel. Patel is too far back on his teammate to do something, and I think we will finish in this order unless we see a mistake.
Yeah, and Johnny Seaman's 22.9 seconds away from Jeroen Toman. That's a huge gap. It's just really showing the difference between the drivers here in Imola. Although Marco Conti is now getting very close to Jeroen Toman, but I don't think it will be enough, and I think Jeroen Toman will hold off to go and win this race.
Just 3 more corners to go for Jeroen Toman. Marco Conti pretty close behind him, but it looks like Conti is too far back. So here we go. Jeroen Toman is gonna take home the victory of the second race here in the 2014 A Series at Imola. And there he goes, going to cross the line. He takes home a victory, with followed by the 2 Twister cars, Conti and Patel. Conti finishing in front of Patel, which is quite good, as we now can wait for 20 seconds before we see Johnny Seaman coming home. I think again best of the rest really. But this time we had another car in the top 3, which was Jeroen Toman. Last race it was obviously Jeroen Toman who will follow back. So there we go. Johnny Seaman 4th position. And I can update you on Carlos Martin. Carlos Martin didn't finish his race. He retired during the last lap because I saw him spinning. He spun off track and then he retired from the race.
Yeah, that's so unfortunate for him, and I'm sure he'll be very, very disappointed with that. But it's a great effort by the Twister cars. Well done to Jeroen Toman for taking the race win. We've got Sliento, Gobby, Hoyodas, Daniel Anthony and Sadler all taking the checkered flag. And as Golek comes...
Watch Liedner. Watch Liedner though. He's crossing the line without a rear ring and without a front wing.
How did that happen? Well, just go and have a look.
Interesting, because I saw as well as Lamajan driving without a front wing, and something actually happened there, I think, just before the finish line with Valeriano as well. Let's have a look. It was Valeriano who passed Daisy, and what happened here? I think I saw some smoke as well.
Norbert Leitner dropped his car.
Oh wow.
That's so unfortunate for Norbert. Marek Golek takes 10th place, 9 and 10 for Go Speed. I was pretty satisfied with that. With Netrace doing a good job, with Saliento in 5th, and then we've got Daniel Anthony in 8th place. Carlos Martin unfortunately retiring, and Chris Young also retiring. I'm sure Biocross Positive Racer will be absolutely delighted with 4 places, as well as Johnny Seaman.
Well, so we finished this second race, and that's it actually for the A series around Imola. So grid order, we have Jeroen Toman who then wins the second race. Maybe he should have won the first race as well. We don't know. Marco Conti in 2nd for Twister Racing. Mohamed Patel in 3rd for Twister Racing. Twister Racing doing an awesome job this weekend, and they definitely closed down precision in the constructors this weekend. Johnny Seaman in 4th. Saliento in 5th. Gobby in 6th, doing quite a reasonable job as well. Martin Hoda 7th. And then we have Van der Niet in 8th, Thomas Severly 9th, and Godek in 10th.
And then rounding out the rest of the field, we have in 11th, we have Norbert Leitner with no front wing and rear wing crossing the line. And then we have Atom Azalamajan in 12th place. Then we've got Guido Valeriano in 13th, Carlos Martin in 14th, who did not finish, Luca Desi in 15th, Mika Hoyer in 16th, and then Christian retired, Pit Elbow also retired, with Alex Diaz having an accident, and Thomas Mundy with suspension damage. So that rounds up then these 2 races. So we have seen an exciting first race. We already had a little bit of a debrief about that. But what do you think about the second race? I mean, we have seen Jeroen Toman here taking home the victory, and I think the Twister racing cars had the pace on him, don't you think so? Yeah, indeed they did. I thought it was a good race. I don't think it was as good as the race one, but it was definitely a good race. You know, Twister really did well, considering I think they were 8th or not. Was it 8th and 7th, I think, to go 2nd down 3rd is a fantastic result. I'm sure David Dominguez, the FSR Vice President, will be delighted with their performances. Oh yeah, definitely. Good job from Twister, as they
well, basically the momentum is into their direction right now, I think, in terms of points for sure, closing down Precision Motorsports in the constructors. So do you have anything else to say?
I think Jeroen will be happy now. He's actually won the race 2 race. And it's been a good day for Chrysler Networks. Ghost Speed will be satisfied. It's Arid Quality Racing had a disappointing race 2. And Faster Speed had a decent race or weekend for the A Series. It's been a fantastic working with you again, Jeroen, and it's been a great race, and I look forward to working with you again in the commentary booth very soon.
Yeah, same for me. Want to thank you, James. Also, a big thank you to Jaakko Mikkonen, who did the cameras for today. Big thank you to you. Good stuff, James. I hope to see you soon next time. Tomorrow we have another FSR packed day, because we have the Pro Series starting at 2 p.m. GMT, so that will be 3 p.m. UK time. We will see the World Championship, don't miss that, at 5 p.m. GMT, 6 p.m. UK time. So that's it from us, and I'll see you guys next time with the next race. Goodbye.
Bye.